Carey, and I'm the CFO of Metalytics LLC.
Hi, I'm Divya Kopala, and I'm the CMO of Metalytics.
I'm Rohan Madhur, I'm the CTO and COO of Metalytics.
So what is Metalytics? We are a startup who wants to change the industry of healthcare. We will diagnose a patient's needs using predictive analysis. We will be a key player in the TYE and get data from multiple sources to deliver cheaper, faster, and better healthcare.
So the business opportunity. So today, the healthcare industry, they generate a lot of data, but does not use it to its fullest extent. So the healthcare delivery transformation right now is from volume-based, which is more revenue is given for more tests and procedures, and that's going to change to value-based, which the same amount of care at a cheaper cost is more rewarded. In 2010, the Affordable Care Act was passed, and that placed emphasis on value or outcome. Doctors and healthcare facilities were paid based on quality, cost, and outcomes. This is called a triple aim. So there's a big opportunity to predict necessary treatment using the enormous patient information that's out there. This can improve patient care, assist the medical staff to diagnose the problem, and ultimately reduce the total healthcare cost.
So the problem we are addressing. Right now, there are many unnecessary tests being done in the healthcare industry. There's 8,500 in one hospital in the US, approximately. Because people forget things, but computers and analytics don't. So we will use historical patient data to determine the severity of a disease. If it falls outside a certain threshold, the medical test will be conducted.
So we're going to be targeting hospitals of all sizes as well as private practices. We're going to be saving our customers time because they don't have to run unnecessary tests, as well as helping our hospitals give their patients a more accurate diagnosis with the help of our analytics. And like Rohan said before, with the passing of the ACA, insurance companies will be paying hospitals for more value-based care. We'll also be saving insurance companies and patients money for not having to pay for these unnecessary tests. So we're going to target more progressive hospitals first because they're more open to these analytics and trying new things. And we're also going to start in Massachusetts because that's where we're based. And there are 81 hospitals in Massachusetts and 3,000 private practices.
So how this technology works. So when a patient comes to a hospital, they'll either see the physician or a nurse. The physician or nurse will be taking their diagnostics and putting it onto their computers, which will then be stored in the patient record, which is where we can get our patient information from. They'll also be putting their symptoms and vitals onto our Metalytics system, and we will take that information and run predictive diagnostics with it, which we will in turn return to the physician or nurse who can tell whether or not they should run a test.
So these are the three lenses of evaluation which show why our company is desirable, feasible, and economically viable. So our company is desirable to the customer because we save them time and also help them give more value-based care, which in turn will help them gain money. We have created a prototype, which we will show later, using Excel's regression analysis. And this shows that our technology is in fact technologically feasible. And we know that we are viable because we have calculated that we will be able to make a profit by selling to different hospitals and private practices.
So the backbone behind Metalytics. So there's a lot of historical patient data which we can use to estimate the link between a symptom and the severity of a disease. So with doing that, we can predict the severity of the actual disease. The science behind Metalytics. So the x-axis shows the severity of a symptom, while the y-axis shows the level of disease. Each dot represents a patient, and the regression analysis, we can find the line of best fit, which goes through all the patients. When a new patient comes in, their severity and level of disease will be placed on this map, and the doctors will be able to see exactly where they fall along and what type of test they should run. Continue. Input. So for each symptom, we'll have a slope, and so if there's n symptoms, we'll have n slopes. Regression will be able to use to estimate the various b's of the equation, so y equals b0 plus b1 x1 all the way to bn xn. When a new patient comes, all the x's will be filled in the information, and a doctor will be able to compute the value of y because the b's are given. So we have a product demo which shows the simulated data for 100 patients, We're focused on the occurrence of streptococcal pharyngitis, which is also known as strep throat, and we can estimate the link between the occurrence of strep and the various symptoms, such as fever, chill, and blood pressure. And we can predict the probability that a new patient will have strep. So here's just the first 10 examples of all 100 patients. And so the left column shows the independent variables of the X's, so sore throat, fever, all the way to headache. And these are your coefficients, so that every time the severity of the disease moves, that's how much the y-axis changes. The dependent variable is whether or not the patient has strep. The R-square value is a value to show the discrepancy between the X's and the Y's, and it's going to be between 0 and 1. 1 is more accurate, so at 0.75 is quite accurate. So here we have the first two columns are the same from the previous slide, and the next two show the patient A symptoms. So they have sore throat, they have a 98-degree fever, they have a 125 systolic, 75 diastolic, 68 beats per minute. They have a flu vaccination, no chill, and blood pressure, or body ache and headache are both at 4 on a scale of 1 to 5. So this patient has a 29% that they have strep throat, which is quite low. So based on this, a doctor can tell that this patient might not need to run a strep throat test. On the other hand, patient B, who comes in, they have sore throat, 100-degree fever, 130 systolic, 85 diastolic, heart rate of 55, and then no flu vaccination. This probability of this patient having strep is 72.8%, which is significantly higher. Based on this, a doctor can see that this patient needs to have a strep throat test, which is the benefit of predictive analytics.
So our target market. We will determine who falls within each sector by checking how much they use data and how forward-thinking the company is. We will target the innovators and the early adopters, and later we can target the early and late majority and the laggards.
So when we calculated the economic value to the customer, we knew that we would be leaving a lot of money on the table for hospitals and physician practices alike. So we used the EVC equation, which is the total number of unnecessary strep tests times the 15 types of tests that are normally unnecessary at a hospital, such as CT scans, cardiograms, and x-rays. But our basis for this project is mainly strep tests. And based on our approach, we wish to reduce 50% of unnecessary tests per year at each hospital. And for an average strep test, it costs about $60, and we also took that into account when we figured out how much we would save annually for a small, medium, and large hospital. So for a medium hospital, we save about $4 million. For a small hospital, we save about $1 million. For a large hospital, we save about $15 million. And for physician practice, we save about $60,000. And as you can see, the larger the hospital, the more the savings we have to the medical system.
So like we said before, we're going to be targeting hospitals of all sizes as well as private practices, and our segmentation basis is based on the progressiveness of hospitals. And we're going to be able to identify this hospital. For example, we might ask them if they've turned to a more value-based care due to the passing of the ACA. And so if they have, then we know that this is a progressive hospital that we should take in as a customer. So since our target market is pretty big, we have created 3 pricing plans to accommodate any potential customers. So our first pricing plan is targeted towards small hospitals and physician practices who have less patients, and this is $12,500 at a fixed rate plus $6.25 per patient. For medium hospitals, it's $125,000 at a fixed rate plus $2.50 per patient. And then for large hospitals, it's $250,000 at a fixed rate. And so we're going to be selling our software. We're going to be hiring salespeople to sell our software to hospitals. And for our customers' first year of service, we will be giving them a 50% discount.
So our main competition for this product is Cerner and Athena Health, which are currently not going into patient analytics. They're actually doing analytics on their financial model to predict future outcomes as well as future revenues. And our other main competition is also SAS. So as Divya alluded to earlier, for year one, we're giving each physician practice as well as each hospital 50% off discount, so they can test our technology and see if it's financially beneficial to their medical system. So we take those discounts in account for one small, one medium, and one large hospital, and 5 physician practices. So that leads to our net revenue, which is about $300,000, and our net income after tax and as well as our expenses will be about $64,000. Now let me just point out that we're profitable right from year one, whereas several other companies like FedEx were not profitable right from year one. They're profitable from year 3. Our net revenue for year 2 is about $1 million, and our net income after tax and expenses is about $300,000, and our net revenue for year 3 is about $2 million, and our net income after tax is about $700,000. So as you can see, we grow in profitability each year based on our calculations, and that will increase the scalability of our business as we sign up more hospitals and physician practices.
Our future work. In the future, we're going to incorporate Bayesian analysis, which uses Bayes' theorem to predict other points. And here we say that patients will be a part of the new ecosystem, so they will be fully informed participants of what we are doing. We have feedback from this doctor, and he is also our advisor. He is part of our advisory board. And he says that our product will play a vital role in reducing costs that align with the ACA. So this shows that he believes in our company's ability to grow, as we do also, which is why we have registered our company as a limited liability company. Thank you. We will change everyone's lives. For further information, we have a website on metalytics.webs.com.
Yeah.